Good morning and welcome to Morning Brew with your girl Germaine. How is everybody doing? I know we're coming back from a weekend and I'm excited to be here with you in the community this morning. And also remember, we're also coming to you for the evening pour at 6:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time also. But here we are. And guess what today's brew is going to be about? Mm, Growth doesn't always feel good. That's what we're going to talk about. So, if you notice, if you've been watching and being a part of the last few coffee brews, then you know there's a theme going on here. And I hope it is resonating with everyone that is watching to be able to get your strength and turn your power into your purpose and know that your power is your peace, it's your freedom. So, but today we're going to talk about some things that growth doesn't always feel good, but you know what? Sometimes it's worth it. So, as you're chiming in, I want you to just let me know. Let me know, hit me up. Let me know you are in the community today. Let me know what you're drinking. So, as you know, I'm doing my coffee. I will switch off every so often, but right now, coffee just hits the spot for me. This is my hazelnut um, coffee brew, and it always just hits the spot. I'm telling you. Give me a second. I need a sip. So, but if you're chiming in, let me know you're here. Let me know what you're drinking today. Before we get into this message, we'll give it a few more moments. People are joining in the community. You know what's really been good is because after we did our rebranding, I noticed more people are chiming in, stopping by for their coffee break or to have their tea, juice, whatever it is they're drinking. All is accepted. And so it's good to really see new people chime into the community. And I know there's people that's probably watching and at absolutely no way, shape, or form will they let you know that they're in the community, but that's okay. That's okay. You don't have to show up in the community. It's nice to know that you're in the conversation with me, but it's okay. You can still be a part of the conversation from afar, wherever you are. I just hope that, these coffee brews, I hope that they resonate with you. I hope that these messages may find you along your journey, show up in your pathway, and something may start growing after you start watering that seed, right? So, but let's get into it. I'm not going to hold you long. Let's get into this. So, in today's brew, as I said, growth doesn't always feel good. So, we're going to talk a little bit about the discomfort of transformation. So, I want you guys to think about this. We post about growth like it's a glow or glory all the time, right? But real growth, sometimes it's a little painful, it can be a little messy. There's definitely discomfort in it when you're really growing in an area of your life. It could be relationships, it could be, you know what? It could be something that you've learned and you're transitioning to another level. It could be anything that is causing you to grow in that area, okay, of your life. So think about this. It's like a late night filled with self doubt. Hmm. It's leaving behind what's familiar. Is all this starting to resonate? Does it sound familiar to you? Okay. It's grieving what you thought you'd be. Do you see what's happening? How you have to let go of some things in order to grow and move forward? Okay. So in this brew, we're going to speak truth. So many of you feel, but rarely say out loud. And let's be honest, growth can hurt. It can. And that doesn't mean you're doing it wrong just because you're feeling pain in it. It could very well mean that you're evolving. So I want that to just steep a little with you, steep just a little bit. And as you think about your own situation. Good morning, Jesse Moss 92775. Good morning and welcome to Morning Brew this morning. Good morning, my sister. So, Jesse, you just chiming in. We are talking about growth doesn't always feel good. So, the last thing I said in this brew today, we're going to speak truth to so many things that we feel but we rarely say out loud. And to be honest, growth does hurt sometimes. It does. But like I stated, it doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It could very well mean that you're just evolving. All right, so let's get into it because you know how we do here. We pour into purpose. So let's do a little pouring into purpose, right? So let's think about this shedding your identities, mm, relationships, or habits to evolve. Okay. I want to talk about a few points that I really want you to think about. And like I said, make this all about you. This is about your journey. It's not about somebody else's. It's about your journey and what you may be experiencing, or maybe you already come through some growth sprouts, like sprouting up, growth pains. But I want you to just let some of these things resonate with you. Or if they don't, maybe you see it in somebody else and it could be helpful for them. Right. So let's get into this shedding identities, relationships, or habits to evolve. You can't grow without letting go. Should I say that again? You cannot grow without letting go. So I want to paint this picture for you, right? You know you got to grow to get to your next place in life, right? But I want you to envision that as you are getting ready to take these steps, you are picking up everything that's familiar to you. You're picking up everything that you're comfortable with. So now you are being weighed down with all this stuff that you think is supposed to go with you on your next level. This is a little advice that I want to leave with you. Some things cannot go where you're going. Some people cannot go where you're going. So guess what? You have to start leaving them behind and letting those things go in order for you to grow to your next level, right? So, I want to leave these 3 points so you can have this to just, think about. That version of you that said yes to everything, you may not be able to take that to the next phase that you're going into. You may have to stop saying yes to everything. The role you play to keep the peace, some things you might have to shake up a little, okay? And be okay with that. All right. The habit that made you feel safe but kept you small. Hmm. Outgrowing doesn't mean dishonoring, it means choosing alignment over attachment. So, all those things that you might be attached to, guess what? You have to make a decision if you are really ready to grow. And always keep this in mind you're not losing yourself by letting go. You are returning to who you were before the world told you who to be. Mm. Okay, some of you all that's out there that's listening, you really might need to let that just sink in a little. Sink it in. Let it stir it up, you know, but just sit in it for a moment while I go to the next one. Why discomfort is a sign of expansion. So this may help you with the first one that you're thinking about, okay? Discomfort doesn't mean something's wrong. Why do we always do that to ourselves? Just because we're a little discomfort means like, okay, something is not right, something is wrong. Uh, it often means something is working. So it's a little discomfort because it's actually working to your benefit. All right, so Let's talk about it. I want you to think about butterflies before breakthroughs, tension before transformation, stretching beyond what's comfortable is what creates capacity. All right, let those just listen. Maybe those will help you as you're letting things and people go to get to your next level. So, growth is not always graceful, but it's always worth it. So, what I'm saying here, if you haven't realized that yet, you are going to go through something and it may feel discomfort. You may feel discomfort. It may not be comfortable. Go through it, see it through, because the gift, the presence, it's going to be on the other side. So go through that discomfort. It won't last forever. All right, so let's look at this. Okay, how to sit with pain without labeling it as failure. I know it's easy for us to feel like a failure because I don't know, maybe society, maybe life, maybe people, maybe they help to reinforce that within you. Cancel the noise, cancel the noise. You don't need to hear any of that while you're on this journey, okay? But let me see if I can help in any way with some of these points. Pain is a messenger, it's not a mistake. Okay. Pain is a great indicator to let you know that there's something happening, right? Whether it be good, whether it be bad, but something's happening. So it's an indicator for you. All right. So feelings are not flaws. Confusion is not failure. And every breakdown doesn't contain a blueprint for a breakthrough. Okay. The key is to stay with yourself in the discomfort long enough to receive the lesson. How many of you have told yourself, I know there's a lesson in this for me to get from this in order for me to hopefully be past all this? Most times we don't like staying long enough to get the lesson from it because we don't like to feel uncomfortable. That's real. We don't want to feel uncomfortable. But I need you to, if you are really in the place of looking to grow beyond where you currently are, I need you to stay just a little longer before you give up. And I know it's not comfortable and you may feel some pain, but just know when you get on the other side of that, you'll look back and be like, wow, I can't believe okay, it took me that long to get through this. Or thank God I am through that and I understand what I was supposed to take away from that. Right. But just stay open to the process of it all. So I want to leave these things. These are some questions I really want to leave with you. Write them down or just begin to think about it. But I want to leave with what part of your growth journey feels hard right now? That's for you to think about. If you want to share that and the community, it's up to you. But that's for you to think about. What part of your growth journey feels hard right now? And then this is the other thought that I want to leave with you. What might it be trying to teach you? Life is a life sometimes is a journey full of lessons for us to take away. But are we paying attention? Are we tuned in? This is about your growth. This is about you growing to your next level, to the next place you so desire to be. But just know it's not just going to be given to you. You must go through something. You must go through something in order to really get a full understanding, be strong from it, and also to be an example to help someone else go through it. But it's all in a journey. So take your time and go through the journey. Don't try to fly through it, right? Because you're going to miss some things along the way. And you don't want to do that because they could be pivotal points in your life to help catapult you really, really in that zone, in that space that you are so destined to be in. So you guys know how we do, right? In our final sip, I want to leave some things with you. And then we're going to bring this to a close. So Growth isn't always pretty. Sometimes it looks like crying in the car after setting a boundary. How many times have you escaped to your car because one, it's a secluded place and it could just be you in there, right? Away from everything and everybody. And you just go in there and you just really need a cry to be able to get yourself together and release that from yourself to take the next step. Yeah, it happens. A car is a great space to just have that me moment of being able to let me get myself together. And sometimes you may just need to scream to the top of your lungs, right? And then also, sometimes it feels like fear. And we've talked about fear on multiple coffee breaks. It feels like fear. It may feel like loneliness, like letting go without a net. Growth. This is growth. And the thing is, we get so comfortable in what we know versus we're too fearful to figure out what we don't know. So we stay stuck in that space of not growing. But sometimes, just like coffee, especially if you're brewing your coffee, and it gets really hot and all of a sudden it bursts, it starts releasing because don't be that. Don't be at the space where it's getting so hot. It's getting so hot that you just and then you spill out over everybody and everything. So, but if it gets to that place, just get it out of you. It's not good to keep it in. Get it out of you so you can grow to where you need to go. Okay. So, this is the truth. You're not breaking down. Not at all. You're breaking through. So, you know how we do. We sip slow, and I want you to embrace the strength. And I want you to just grow anyway. Continue to grow. Continue to water yourself, continue to grow in order to get to where you are destined and purposed to be in this life. Now, listen, life is not waiting on nobody. It is moving full steam ahead. So you're either going to be left behind, but my advice is stay connected, stay in tune with oneself so you can always be moving along the journey of this thing called life. So, once again, thank you so much. That is today's coffee brew. That is today's coffee brew. And once again, growth doesn't always feel good, but it is so necessary. Just go through and continue to grow. And once again, if you have not chimed in and if you have not joined the community over on Hope of Vision Connect on YouTube, make sure you do that. Make sure you subscribe to help build the community out. And please, sometimes just leave me a comment. Leave me a comment if any of this really resonates with you. Leave me a comment on how you feel about the morning brew. And like I stated, that we are now also airing the coffee brew. Is in the evening around 6:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but it's the evening pour. And so if you missed today, this morning, you can get it this evening. I look forward to staying connected with you, and I will be back tomorrow with another morning brew. Have a wonderful day. Be safe out there and know it is okay for you to grow and release some things off of you to be lighter, to grow to your next step. Okay. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon. Bye.